A very good evening, everybody. The Estadio do Morumbi in Sao Paulo, the home of Sao Paulo FC and venue for the opening game of the 2019 Copa America between Brazil and Bolivia, now plays host as we continue the story in Group C here. And it is the meeting of Japan and Chile amid great expectation. It may at first seem an unlikely pairing, but by no means for the first time CONMEBOL, the host confederation, attempting this year to widen the appeal of this tournament with the addition of nations invited to join the party in Brazil. It has been happening since 1993, and generally the outsiders have come from the CONCACAF region. That deemed impossible this time because of the scheduling of the Gold Cup, and the two nations to come in instead are the finalists from the 2019 Asian Cup, a return to the Copa America for Japan, first invited in 1999.
Senhoras e senhores, o hino nacional do Japão. Damas e cavalheiros,
So, time for the second of the invitees at the 2019 Copa America to make their entrance, and if Japan prove anything like as capable as Qatar did last night, then they too should adorn this tournament. But the start could hardly be much more taxing against the two-time defending champions. They arrived, Japan, in South America with 17 uncapped players, 18 who'll be eligible to play in the Olympic football tournament a year from now. So the strategy all too clear, but experience very hard to find. The keeper Keisuke Osako is 19. Only Takahiro Tomoyasu played in Japan's friendly against El Salvador 9 days ago. He and Naomichi Ueda, both based in Belgium nowadays, but Japan unveil Takefusa Kubo, the 18-year-old signed by Real Madrid recently. Chile have assembled the veterans brigade once more. 6 players with more than 100 caps, still smarting, of course, from their failure to qualify for the FIFA World Cup last year. The goalkeeper, Gabriel Arias, has sprung to prominence at the age of 31. He's having a fine run at Racing Club, who lead in Argentina this season. They played Haiti in a warm-up game in La Serena. They won it without Alexis Sanchez, but of course he returns to the national colours here. That's the only outfield change, his 125th cap, but 4 more men, including the irrepressible Arturo Vidal, are not that far behind. And the captain, Gary Medel. From Paraguay, Mario Diaz de Vivar is the man in charge. Jesus Valenzuela leading the VAR team, assisted by Jerry Vargas and Wilmar Navarro. Big calls are plenty already in this tournament. Moriyasu was the assistant at the FIFA World Cup to Akira Nishino and appointed to succeed him in July 2018. Ronaldo Rueda is the Colombian now in charge of Chile. He succeeded Pizzi following their failure to qualify for the World Cup. Not a hard job picking the team, I must say. If you're the Chile boss, if you're fit and a regular, you play again. Japan have beaten Paraguay, Colombia, Uruguay and Bolivia since the start of 2018, but none of those games was played in South America, and none probably with the kind of ferocity that Chile bring to the big game occasion. The 2-time defending champions setting out in search of a hat-trick. It's a vast stadium, almost 70,000 capacity, the home of Sao Paulo here. And here we go. This callow and youthful Japan side in against one of the big boys, not just in South America here. And it looks a very tall order, I must say. But they've taken a policy decision to blood this team with the Olympic Games and the 2022 World Cup in mind. Will it backfire tonight? Uruguay watching on, following their emphatic victory over Ecuador to open this Group C yesterday evening, and also watching on the many millions of supporters of the Samurai Blue back home in Japan. A kick-off time geared hopefully to maximise the audience there. An ambitious statement, all this, by CONMEBOL, hoping to increase the global appeal of this great old tournament. But Chile unlikely to be swayed or distracted, surely. Nakajima tricked his way through a couple, and a little touch here for Kubo, the teenager, 18 years of age, and Vidal knows all about him and says welcome to the big time. It's a good little carry by Nakajima. Our information is that Japan plan to start with a 3-4-3 formation. Beausejour is the left back for Chile. Vidal actually played further forward in the friendly, but now they have Alexis Sanchez back in the side. He's reverting to type in the middle of the field. Enforcer number 1. among so many muscular and battle-hardened Chilean players. Maeda showed willing and won the free kick. That's a bit short. Sanchez onto it, and he tried to set one up for Eduardo Vargas. Inexperience did show there, all right. The number 3 is Yuta Nakayama. Helped on his way by Shibasaki. Beausejour. Laid off to him again by Sanchez. Again, it doesn't quite fall as Vargas would want for Chile. Vidal. Kubo can play on both sides. He's predominantly left-footed, but our information again is that they like him on the right side. I know it's almost a convention these days, where he can just cut in field. Eric Pulgar fizzed it up there to Vargas, and he took it well. Didn't use it quite so well. Maeda dropping back for Japan, and he's run off it well by Pulgar. Now Alexis Sanchez, cap number 125. Nakajima plays his club football in Qatar. I'm sure you would have watched with interest the way Qatar forced their way back into it against a lively-looking Paraguay side last night. Qatar, of course, the team that beat Japan in the Asian Cup final. But only one player, Tomoyasu, in this Japan side was even involved in that game. Hara had a little look, tries to go long with it. It's a nice weight on it, and Maripan had a little bit of trouble with that. It was a good forceful run by Oyose Ueda. So they're not all 5-yard passes, Japan, over the top, trying to turn the centre-backs. Worked out well for them. And a little bit panicky, that by Maripan. The centre-back from Alaves. Now, will they invite Kubo to have a shot here? Or will Nakajima pull rank on him? Kubo hits it. Hit it hard, if too high. The goalkeeper here for Chile is having the time of his life. That 31, Gabriel Arias, he's shot to prominence. Only his 7th cap tonight, but he's playing for Racing Club in Argentina these days, and they are top of the league. On by Vidal. Charles Aranguiz, it's a great ball forward. And there's a very good run forward also by Fuenzalida. And what followed, not so good. But Chile looking sharp when they go forward. Once or twice tested in these areas. Medel was ready that time, but they've given it away. And it's Kubo again. Not shy of taking people on his debut. Full guarded well against him. Sanchez earns the throw. And looks set to make it a testing evening here in Sao Paulo for Toruki Hara down the Japan right. Hara just 20 years of age. What a moment for him against one of the big names of world football. Might have been a bit of arm or hand in that. Rain threatening in Sao Paulo. And as I'm sure you're aware, not the classic, almost cliched Brazilian weather at this time of the year, the winter time, but it is 19 degrees dropping now. Ideal conditions really, and Japan well used to this kind of setup. Vidal, nice and tidy. On by Aranguiz. Isla arrived to cross it, Vidal went for it, and Alexis Sanchez was rather caught underneath him. Again, Maeda showing plenty of muscle as he brings it clear for Japan. Ambitious carry again by Nakajima, and he was prepared to hit one, and it was gathered in very cleanly by Arias. Nice little blend up front, it would appear, for Japan. Maeda, very muscular. Nakajima loves to run with it. And we've seen little flashes from Takefusa Kubo already. Off the head of Tomoyasu. Shibasaki did well. Nakajima gets a free kick. That's a promising ball to Hara on the moves. A great cross, and it just eluded Ueda. Japan moving the ball around with confidence and attacking with belief here early on. A side, well, I wouldn't say it's been thrown together, but it most certainly has not played in a tournament together before. And they have come well prepared, clearly. And if any of the Chilean players thought this would be very straightforward, they may need to think again, even this early. Nakajima had it taken off him. Fuenzalida. Tomoyasu was out to him quickly. Now it's Vidal, and here comes Jean Beausejour. Alexis Sanchez first to it. Did brilliantly with that. Here's Vidal. And Vidal not so. Isla gives him an old-fashioned look. I don't think he needs telling. Must feel like going to grade school here, an examination for these young Japan players, but they're willing and able to take up the challenge. And another great idea there, and Maripan at full stretch. Ueda was on the move, and Takefusa Kubo at first glance to so many, I would imagine even in Japan, has shown little glimpses of this prodigious talent. The boy wonder. Had to leave Barcelona because of Barcelona's problems in the transfer market. Went back to FC Tokyo and now signed to Real Madrid, and we see why already. And that was a strong header straight at the goalkeeper from Naomichi Ueda. But he got up well above those Chile defenders. It was an attractive looking fixture when the groups were put together, I must say, but mainly then in the expectation that Japan would be bringing something like their first team to Copa America. Instead, we've got the next generation, and they've started in a very positive way. Vidal. Taken in by Fencerlida. Isla. Alexis Sanchez bundled off it. Japan run and press so very hard, of course. Beausejour, he finds a little space. Vidal on by Aranguiz. Eric Pulgar. Maybe a little slow getting into their stride in this tournament generally. Chile. Isla. Alexis Sanchez went for it. Vidal not quite got his eye in yet. But Japan giving as good as they're getting here early on against the Chile side. Hot favourites. Acknowledged by Moriyasu. Maybe the case that Chile will need a game or two really to get fully up to speed again, because they have not been playing competitive action since their failed bid to reach the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Led to a certain amount of internal upheaval, as these things tend to do. They lost the last of the qualifiers in October 2017 to Brazil, and in general their away form was fairly ordinary, to say the least of it. So very strong at home. Aranguiz done well with that. Wade has stayed cool. Chile fans who are here in Sao Paulo doing their best to try to turn it into a home game for Chile, and I mentioned their fairly dismal away record in the last round of World Cup qualifiers. That was fairly confident for a 19-year-old goalkeeper, wasn't it? I don't think Eduardo Vargas enjoyed it too much. Plays for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Osako. Japan here at this tournament do have the venerable Eiji Kawashima, now 36 years of age, as the backup keeper, or one of the two backup goalkeepers. The other one is Ryosuke Kojima, another youngster. Kawashima, the World Cup goalkeeper, of course. And here comes the new man, Arias, for Chile. Shibisaki. Shibisaki, the senior statesman, the man wearing number 7. And with the captain's armband, he's 27 years of age. Must feel like a grandfather to some of these Japan players. Nakajima. Vidal across. Ueda came for it. Fulgar. Resolute by Shibasaki again. And Kubo still busy on both flanks here. As mentioned, a very, very youthful Japan squad. That's all too clear, but it was expected, I think, in many quarters in Japan that Hiroki Abe would be starting this tournament. He was withdrawn from their Under-20 World Cup squad. First card. Tsuruki Hara. Bit of payback for Alexis Sanchez, perhaps. Sanchez has been testing him out early on. Fulgar takes it, and Japan were ready for it. Not so Nakajima that time, however. Isla went down the outside for Vidal. Aranguiz of Bayer Leverkusen, of course. And that's hardly Barcelona-like again from Vidal, is it? Shapes to be a very, very good group, this. Barreda and the rest of the Chile players watching on yesterday as Uruguay did what was required against an Ecuador side that clearly looked the weakest team in this section. It's not clear, however, how much there will be between any of the other three. Uruguay were excellent, of course. And they've been together nearly as long as the Chile players. Nakayama slid in. He's giving some out and he's getting some back, Alexis Sanchez, here early on. Second yellow. Case last night, incidentally, it was quite important perhaps in terms of the overall outcome in the game between Uruguay and Ecuador, that an initial yellow card was withdrawn and on VAR review upgraded to a straight red. So we're through the first 20 here in this tournament for the invitees from Japan, and they've given a very good account of themselves so far, and Chile perhaps sensing now they may have to work very hard for this. That sails harmlessly through to young Osako. Ueda to Hara. Of course, the plot would change so significantly if Japan should suffer a sending off, as Ecuador did last night. So important that that does not happen here. Kubo tries again down the right side. He runs so naturally with it on his left foot. I suppose it may have been seen as a step too far by Moriyasu in this stage of the tournament to play both of Takefusa Kubo and Hiroki Abe. Even without him, Japan's under-20s played some excellent football in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Went out to the Korea Republic in the knockout stages, but eye-catching stuff. Nice little step over there by Aranguiz. Sanchez forward. Cleared by Ueda, unceremoniously, and returned by Medel. Medel again, in his own inimitable fashion. Forward by Pulgar. It's a good ball as well, and Aranguiz made the extra man from midfield, but he doesn't use it that well. The side of his game that's a bit limited, and we see that in the Bundesliga. Not the technical nous and capabilities of players like Nakajima here, who's shown some beautiful touches. And of course, we're seeing little glimpses of Takefusa Kubo already tonight as well. Shibisaki. Hara. What they don't have up front, of course, Japan, is height. There was actually one player in that Japan under-20 squad, and very similar age group to many of these playing for Japan. Tagawa, the main striker, who was most certainly old-fashioned target man type. Had a very good tournament, but he's not here. Shibisaki closed the door, and it dropped for Maeda. Low to the ground, Maeda, and he's happy to take another corner here. Did well. Of course, getting a corner does give Japan the opportunity to get the bigger players forward from further back, and already Ueda's had a header which looked threatening. Nakayama's been involved in the penalty box. Nakajima told to wait. Nakayama starting his run from outside the penalty box. Vidal has got him in his line of vision. Nobody picked him up, and he went for it, and Vidal did get there. Tomiyasu forward. Maripan. Managed briefly in Brazil, did Rueda, at Flamengo. It didn't go very well. He only got 6 months there. His best spell, I suppose, was as the manager of Ecuador, where he did 4 years. An excellent ball forward again. Kojima into the space. Beausejour. Back by Aranguiz. Maripan. Nicely taken by Isla. 109th cap for him this evening. did brilliantly, and Alexis Sanchez was beaten to it by an outstanding piece of defending by Hara, but Bocejur comes onto it, and Chile pressing here. Just too high first time for Vargas, gathered in by Osako. That little change of pace was the problem there really for Japan. That burst from Isla. What about that for a little ball by Nakajima? And Japan keep coming. Got off by Pulgar. Chile men down on that far side. Is Fuenzalida. One of several of these Chile players now playing in Turkey. He's at Alanya Sport. Isla's at Fenerbahce, Medel at Beşiktaş. New law of the game amendment for 2019-20 there. No such thing as a contested drop ball anymore. Vidal. Sanchez, Bocejur. Quickest onto that was the skipper of Japan, Shibasaki. It's a good win back by Mariapan. Chile perhaps looking their most threatening when they get into that higher gear, and that maybe when Japan might struggle a little bit. After some deliberation, they've left it to Aranguiz. On the half-hour mark. Shibasaki clear for Japan, and again they're happy to send Chile all the way back. And get some profit from doing that, playing the percentages, this so-called intricate passing team. Nakayama. Again, floating it over the top. Good run by Ueda. Here's Naomichi Ueda. Out to Hara. Kubo wins the throw. Switching sides at will. Maeda. Always looking to get around the sides of these muscular Chilean defenders. So they've invited Nakayama a couple of times in the air to go and attack it. He got to one and he was just denied the second one by Vidal. Soyoka just about kept it. Coolly done by Isla. Looks assured, I must say, Tomiyasu. He's got 12 senior caps. Doesn't turn 21 until the end of this year. Beausejour. Taken down brilliantly by Alexis Sanchez, effortlessly, but that's not so good. Shibasaki, very cool. Misplaced by Nakajima. Chile grown into the game here at the moment. Vidal, Fuenzalida, put away by Shibasaki. Aranguiz. Japan apparently going man for man. Vidal tried to squeeze in there. Aranguiz once more. Harmlessly through in the end to Alexis Sanchez. He hits it! Those little moments when these Chilean players just explode into top gear, that caused Japan a problem or two. The step over by Vidal here. So Alexis Sanchez again. And I'm sure from some parts of the crowd that looked very close indeed. So a couple of near things. Not yet goal number 42 in international football for Alexis Sanchez. Here goes Nakajima again. Helpful touch on its way from Maripan, took it away from Maeda. There were several other options in there. Good response by Japan after a little spell of building Chile pressure. Nakajima takes it. That's Vidal's head. Shibasaki backward to Hara. One back by Medel. Nakayama back goal side on Vidal. Aranguiz. Vidal again. Beausejour. Great little ball by Alexis Sanchez to Aranguiz, and Ueda was there. both Bocejur and Alexis Sanchez. Chile come again down their left. Not far clear. Bocejur tries his luck now. Might have been a case there that the youngster Cuba might have held on to that. He's presented it back to Chile. It's Vidal. Bocejur. Switch by Pulgar. Isla. Vargas. Alexis Sanchez now. He tried to pull it back rather than hit it himself. And it's going to be a free kick. Foul by Vidal. More and more menacing moments here for Chile, but not quite the composure or coolness in the penalty box so far, perhaps. And not a lot for Osako to do in goal. Tomoyasu, Nakayama and Ueda in front of him, defending very, very well. It's a fabulous little touch on. It's going to run through to the goalkeeper, but he said there's no big, strong target man type, but wonderful knock on in the air by Oeso Ueda then. Maeda taking out Bocejur, the muscular Daizan Maeda. Isla. Won by Aranguiz, Fuenzalida. 3 in the box for Chile. Aranguiz on the edge of it. Skipper is down, Shibasaki. Isla who clattered into him. Trying to rebuild really Shibasaki and get back into the main Japanese international team. He was out for a long time with a serious ankle injury. Taken by Aranguiz and headed firmly into the net. Eric Pulgar gives Chile the lead. Japan just couldn't cope with him in the air. And after playing some very, very good stuff here early on, that muscular, athletic side to the Chilean approach has paid off here. Powerful header up above Nakayama, who is no slouch in the air incidentally, and he buries it in the top corner. Brilliant header. It's not been easy for Chile by any means, but they're in front. Quite a good goal-scoring year at Bologna in Serie A, but I believe that could be his first ever senior international goal. And it's an important one. Hara. Back to the right side, Kubo. Nakayama. Surioka. It's helped on its way by Maeda. Not far clear by Chile. Just sensed danger then. Arturo Vidal. And the goalkeeper Arias just drops on it for a second to cool everybody down again. Seems so often vulnerable when they've scored themselves. Vidal sharply onto it for Alexis Sanchez, sticking fairly rigidly to this left side. Nothing like the interchange from Chile that we see from Japan here. Isla has to go all the way back for it, and further back it goes. One eye on the time clock here, perhaps. Chile quite pleased to be going in 1-0 if that's how it turns out. Beausejour. Chile opened up here, and Japan so close to the leveller. It was a great opportunity, but Maeda went wider and wider. Arias at least stayed cool, and they might do well to thank him. Needlessly given away by Alexis Sanchez, but one or two had switched off. Not Maeda. The problem was he went too wide, and the ball went wide as well in the end. The old adage about being vulnerable when a team has scored almost came true. Would have been a goal out of nothing, but Japan's general play has been excellent. Now Isla, who has been very good down the right, I must say, for Chile in this first half. Fuenzalida gives it back to him. Approaching 45 minutes, Aranguiz, flag stayed down. Alexis Sanchez! Almost misheaded it, I think. It's just those momentary lapses by Japan defensively that have dogged them in this first half. We're into stoppage time, just a single minute. Moriyasu surely with much to be pleased about, but those tiny moments when they've just been exposed defensively, just not being switched on early enough perhaps. The corner the best example, which led to Chile's goal. Shibasaki, not that ability to sense danger, probably because these are players playing at this level for the first time. But for a team playing at this level for the first time, Japan have contributed mightily to the entertainment here in Sao Paulo. One or two very bright moments indeed. Chile a little slow to get into their stride. Understandable when they've been so short of competitive action for so long. But the big guns started to fire. And from the corner, Eric Pulgar headed Chile in front. But they have had to work very, very hard for it. Marvellous entertainment here. Japan 0, Chile 1.